Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM, live from Helsingborg, Sweden. I am your host, Dan Powers, and along with me, he is the sickest man to ever live. He is also the greatest roommate in the history of human beings, Chris Powers.
As always. Oh, man. Emotional weekend.
We're drained, dude. We're drained.
Oh, dude. Can't even, I mean, the walls are bare. You've seen me do Zooms from here before with cool pictures behind us. I'm not even going to turn the camera around. Yeah. God, dude. I will miss it very much.
Yeah. It was the best place in the world, dude. People followed along the story. We don't need to spend too much time on it because we'll both get emotional and just start crying again.
Correct.
But listen, I'll put that house and that run up against any house in the history of Los Angeles, and we would absolutely beat the wheels off of them. There's no question about that, sir. No question on earth.
Yep, that's right.
And here we go. The new journey. The new journey begins. I'm overseas right now while we figure out how to put a roof over my head. And I'll tell you what, CP, I pulled a move that I do believe is an original DP. I swear on my future children that I did not get this from anyone else. This is an idea that came to mind, and I will say it came to mind because of the packing. Packing up the house, packing up all my shit. I saw an item, and I went, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to pack that. And then I went, wait a minute. Maybe I won't pack that. Maybe I won't pack that up. Maybe I'll pack that in my carry-on. I had a flight from L.A. to JFK, then JFK to Copenhagen. And that JFK to Copenhagen was a long run. It was going to be a sort of red eye in that I would land in Copenhagen at 6:30 in the morning. So going to be crucial to sleep on that flight. So what did I do, CP? I used the big brain. I used that giant noggin.
That you've had since birth.
And that's a fact. If people don't know that, I was a big-headed child. I packed, sir, a pair of slippers in my carry-on. And when I got on that flight and when it came time to sleep, got on the flight, had a nice meal, had some Chipotle chicken and steamed veggies, had a glass of wine to help the sleeps come towards me, mixed that wine with some medication. Classic stuff. But I pulled out my blanket, I pulled out my pillow, and I know a lot of people are wishy-washy on you're taking the shoes off from the plane. Our good friend Kevin Fiala is fine with it. He says his feet don't stink.
Yeah, never
But
have.
even if your feet don't stink, I feel like you get some judgmental looks. I feel like people will always be like, ooh, that guy just took his shoes off on the plane. So what I did was I maximized comfort and also made sure to not disrupt anyone around me. I popped off the shoes and I quickly slipped my socked feet into my slippers. And it was incredible. It felt amazing. I looked amazing. I even got a look from an older gentleman who went, that is a great move, sir. And I went, I just came up with it. And he goes, I'm going to have to copy that. And I go, hey, it's free.
Yeah.
It's free right now. But I'll tell you what, man, you know, when you pull a move and you immediately go, oh, this is fucking genius. That's what was going on.
You slept like a baby, I bet.
Oh, I slept like a baby. It's the best sleep I've ever done on a plane. And it was the confidence, I think. The confidence gave me those extra Z's for sure.
I like that take a lot, that it helps up here too, not just down there.
Oh, listen.
It helps up here.
Sleeping on a plane is a mental game, even if you think it or not. You're always thinking about, you're a big twitcher. Like you start throwing arms and
pray for the people next to me, dude. They land with black eyes.
And then you also wonder if you're doing this thing.
Yep.
Mouth open, looking like an absolute buffoon. But I didn't care about that. My mouth was probably open. People were probably throwing snacks in there, and I wasn't even noticing because I was sleeping so deeply because of my slippers. But I'll tell you, pro move.
I don't even own slippers because I am not a take the shoes off when you walk in the house guy, which most people have slippers for that reason. And I'm such a hobbit I'm just barefoot all the time. You know, I like being barefoot.
And the bottoms of your feet are black.
Yeah.
Black as night.
Yeah. And, but I could see myself, and dude, I've purchased slippers before to be like, I'll wear them. And I just don't. Like, I can't break the habit. But I could actually see myself, after hearing about this move, I could see myself purchasing specifically plain slippers. Like, I don't use them ever, except for when I need to sleep on a plane.
Yeah. Aero
that
slips.
I could do. Yeah,
Aero slips.
Aero slips. We should start
that would be a solid move, dude. We could start a business. Like, you know how you go into Hudson News and there's neck pillows everywhere? Right next to them is going to be Aero slips.
Aero slips. Bang. In fact,
no one fucking steal this.
Yeah,
no one steal it.
Delete this. Wags, delete this.
I am verbally patenting this. This is patented. Verbally.
I wonder if, you know how sometimes airlines, when you're on a nice flight, it's like they hand you a bag. If you have a red eye, they hand you a little baggie and it's like, here's an eye mask and like a blanket or whatever. Yeah. We should get this in that bag. You know, like we should get the airlines to buy. I mean, I guess the airlines are going broke anyway, so fuck them.
But this could bring them back.
Dude, you sparked me on two things during this story. One, I have been doing this on flights, which you and Red saw a million times during the finals. I get on planes and they're either fucking freezing or scorching. And I usually have a hoodie on and I'll take it off when I get on.
You stole this from me.
No, dude.
You stole this from me. If you're about to say the reverse hoodie move, you saw me do that.
But only arms on. Like you put the hoodie on backwards.
I've done that too.
I go only arms and hoodie. So, because that's the only place I get cold is like right here. Like on the plane, I'm always like, my arms are so cold. So I go only arms on, hoodie just like here, like crunched up in front of me, and then hood up over my face. No one can see your mouth open. Perfect temp. Black. Dude, shut up. What are they, like the storm shades, you know, hurricane
blackout curtains.
Blackout curtains. Boom. Done, dude. See you later.
It's
hilarious, though.
It's my move.
It's hilarious when you're in aisle, though, because someone needs to get up and they like tap you, and I'm like, what? They're like, can I get out, dude?
You go like that, and you're like hairs everywhere. your glasses are like fogged up, probably, and you're like, fuck. Can I help you?
And then here's the other thing: when you said you had wine and a little medication to get you right, to get you all lined up, split your differential.
By the way, I do not recommend that. If there are any kids listening, that's not what we do. We do not mix wine and medication.
Dude, I was dying laughing at myself Sunday day because we had the house send off Saturday, and you were up all night to get to the flight, and then I was up like, wow, gas. I was up.
It's a Swedish beer.
I was up. That's so sad. I might have one right now. I was up truly all night till like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Go to bed, wake up at like 1 p.m. to like move and everything. And I am wrecked from the night before. So dude, I became a fucking chemist because there's no time for me to be hungover. Like I need to go. No. So
wait, are you about to tell me that you created a hangover cure?
No, but like you should have seen me in the lab, Dan. I had like, it was like wake up and I was like, oh God. So it's like huge water into 2 frozen Pedialyte pops. Into nice. Into 2 Advil, bang. A Gator Light electrolyte drink.
Good.
Into a Bloody Mary, bang. Into a Zofran nausea pill, bang. Into like some bread, like toast, Wait,
like, you had some nausea going? That's rare.
No, I was just doing, like, I literally was like concocting whatever could work, and like all these things, it was like bubbling and turning green, and I was like, and then like by 2:30, I was like, okay, let's get the U-Haul going. And I was like, man, that was awesome.
You were just you were in potions class. Just
I was doing all the things like I'll never drink again, but also like maybe some Bloody Mary, maybe a little gummy, just like I got to get out of here.
That could have helped.
Yep.
We could never be sure. That could have helped.
Special stuff.
Man, well, I'm telling you, these are some game-changing moves that we're talking about here. And speaking of game-changing moves, this is our free agency episode, folks. We are dropping this episode immediately so the people can hear what's going on in free agency. It is the 30th of June right now. We are on the eve of free agency, so we're going to give you a crash course rundown on what's gone on, what we think about those moves, and then all of the players that are coming up that we're keeping our eyes on. We got to just jump right into this, CP, because we have absolutely no time. No time. Correct. There is no time. Starting off, I think the big one, Noah Dobson traded to the Montreal Canadiens for Emil Heinemann, a 2025 first-round pick, which was already used. Two 2025 first-round picks. Dobson immediately signs the McAvoy deal, 8 years by $9.5 million. Dobson and Lane Hudson are now going to be on the same PP, most likely. Absolutely out of control. How do you feel about this move? What do you think it means for both teams?
I love everything the Montreal Canadiens did last year.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. I had predicted they were going to be way better, but it was too early for them to make playoffs, certainly wrong. Yep. But they are going to be such a fun team, such a bright future. I have been so high on Dobson this whole time.
Yes.
I don't even mean like
so
this.
Have I.
I know. So I could never understand the Islanders fans' weird displeasure with him recently. Yeah. So I love the move for Montreal. There were so many things swirling about Dobson wants 11 mil and all this shit. And maybe that's what he was saying. I don't know. Whatever. But
I think that stuff's always bullshit. It's like it's the same nonsense with Sway. It's like some douchebag writer says it to try to villainize them to the fan base or something like that. I don't think there was any world where Dobson thought he was worth 11 mil.
Getting him for 9.5, I think, is great. Honestly. Well, I guess you're buying the potential. Like, it's almost like too high for me, where I'm like, dude, chill. But like, you're not that good. Not that many guys make over 10 million. But go ahead.
He's 73 points or something 2 years ago. Like, the kid is special, man. Like,
I know.
Let's be honest. We're in an NHL that values offensive defensemen.
Yes,
for better or worse. And it's ironic because I feel like we have talked about this before. You look at the teams, take away Colorado, who have won the Cup most recently, and they don't have these offensive defensemen. They have dogs. They have great defensive shutdown defensemen, and yet we still keep paying all these offensive guys.
Yep. And the cap's going up, and you're buying the potential, so I can live with it. When we had originally been talking, and then from the Islanders' perspective, I was like, you've been hearing, they're going to move up into the first round again, which they obviously did, but I thought top 10. Maybe they trade Dobson to Boston for 7 or whatever. And I was like, I think I don't know if I like that trade for them. But to get 2 picks next year, which everybody says is such a bigger, sorry, they got 2 picks this year.
Yeah, I was like, nope. Yeah.
To get 2 picks this year late, I was like, I didn't know if that was worth it to me. Like, I might have just kept Dobson.
But he was RFA. That is the thing that you have to remember. And like, you're about to get Schaefer, which obviously they took, and they put their eggs in the Schaefer basket. Basically, I think the Islanders decided that to them, Noah Dobson was not worth $9.5 million a year, especially when they had Schaefer coming in. So they went, can we get 2 first-round picks for this
and the
player? Yes. And the answer is yes. So it's like, yeah, they did it. I mean, it's if he had term or something like that, then you would want more. To me, I thought it was a great trade. I think it's a great trade for both. I think Montreal keeps making moves to continue to be a playoff threat. Like they want to make it to the second, third round. They want to get to a Stanley Cup sooner rather than later. So I thought it was a big balls move. And I'll also say I love it for the Islanders. I really, for the first time in a long time, I actually think what the Islanders are building is pretty interesting. When you look at the prospects they have, I don't think that they're gonna make playoffs. I'm gonna pick them to be the same thing every year. This like bubble team that either makes it or doesn't quite make it. And as of right now, I don't think that they're going to make it. And I actually think that's okay. With like, we need Yzerman to get in the mix here. We need Schaefer. I mean, the kid he's going to turn 18 right before the first game of the season, like a month before. So like, I don't need this kid playing 82 games. Possibly, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Leo Carlson treatment with Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah.
But I am very excited if I'm an Islanders fan. So I like this move for them. And if I'm the Habs, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like you have one of, if not the most dangerous offensive blue lines in the NHL now. That's pretty cool.
Dude, my buddy Kyle, who's an Islanders fan, texted me about this and he was excited. He was like you just said, Dan, this is the rebuild we needed. Like, we're retooling with all these guys and let's go. And he was like, I love that the Islanders will have sent Taze and Dobson to be like the perfect partners for Makar and Lane. Like here you go, dude.
So funny.
And I was like, yeah, wow, that's fucked. And then also, I just wanted to say on Schaefer, dude, that we got so many texts about this. Everybody was like, there's no prospect that's generational in this draft, blah, blah, blah. And God knows what kind of player Matthew Schaefer will become. But I have never been like, I'm not that interested in this year's draft. Swing 180 into, I will literally die for Matthew Schaefer.
I know, man.
In one 10-minute span, dude. Like, and I think people knew some of his story. There's an amazing YouTube video out for his full story. I'm not going to get into it, but just the emotion on that kid and his family and everything, and the way he was like so respectful of everybody. Dude, he is like literally, I've never rooted for somebody harder that I don't know personally or anything about in my whole life.
The emotional journey that kid has gone through with his mother, with his billet mom, and just his family, the way they've rallied around each other is absolutely out of this world. And our buddy Tommy from home texted us and was like, has there ever been a more likable draft pick in the history of the NHL than this kid? And it's true. We're gonna get him on the pod here whenever he's ready. But what a stud, man! Like, you're so right, Chris. I couldn't be rooting for this kid harder. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm an Islanders fan now. It's amazing.
I know. Let's stick with D. Nick Hague is the next one up that we're going to talk about. Big trade that just popped off. He was an RFA in Vegas, traded to Nashville for Jeremy Lauzon at $2 million cap hit, Colton Sissons at a $2.85 million cap hit. Hague immediately signs a 4-year, $5.5 AAV deal, essentially saves Vegas about $1 million in space. This one felt almost like I want to say a nothing burger. It feels like a continued cap space move out. Vegas, everyone knows what Vegas is up to. We've talked about this on the podcast before. Vegas is after Marner. They're probably, if not definitely, the front runner right now. I know there are many other teams, LA being one of them. Carolina is a big sleeper that's making a push for Marner. We have not yet said that. Now here I am saying it right now on the pod. But that is like, Vegas has all of their eggs in the real world basket, to quote Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
Like they're going all in for Marner. This one feels like, to me, like they went, yeah, we're going to have to pay Hager probably $5.5 million. And they were like, we can't do that if we want to go get this guy. He's a Stanley Cup winner. He's a big boy. He's gritty. We saw him getting really tough and nasty against Matthew Tkachuk, one of the best rats and best guys at getting under your skin when they won the Cup against Florida. So it's definitely a loss. And when you look at it as really only saving $1 million, we have to assume that Sissons and Lauzon might just be moved quickly here. Like this might be a quick stop shop in Vegas. I would not be surprised to see them on the move.
I saw a lot of reaction online that loved this move for Vegas, under the assumption that these guys aren't quick stop shops. Like, they're like, oh no, this is a fleece. They're going to fit in that Vegas system wonderfully for so cheap. And it was time to move on from Hager anyway. Trotz is cooked, all that stuff. I thought it was good business. Like, I do kind of like the fit in Vegas. I love Vegas too. I think that's the problem. I just think they've built something good. And when you can get guys like this for this cheap that can plug in.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a nice play. I wouldn't be surprised if they are shipped out immediately. Like you said, if that does happen, I won't be in shock, but I'm not, maybe I'm not expecting it as much as you are, because I think there's a chance that they're like, no, dude, these are the type of guys you need, and I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I think Lauzon's he's a solid little player. He, for me, is a guy, like, we teased on the pod. We had got a little bit of inside source on Petro, and that Petro, his season is done. It just broke actually today officially. His season is done and maybe further, which is devastating. You hate to see that. He's going to have multiple surgeries coming up this summer. He is a guy that you need in the lineup, both to eat minutes, but also to mentor players like Lauzon, like really kind of set the standard. So you wonder, is Lauzon going to be as effective on this Vegas team if he stays on this roster without Petro in the lineup? I think it's impossible to say yes. It's not to say he won't be effective or successful. I think he would have been even more if Petro was there. So that is absolutely something to keep an eye on. I think I'm paying sharp attention to those guys and if they stay with this team.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. Let's move to Boston. Couple of big ones in Boston after, you can call it luck, you can call it whatever, but James Higgins fell to 7 in the draft. Don Sweeney made the right pick. He didn't hesitate for a second, and that deserves a handshake, which he gets. Dude.
I'm so pumped.
Gets James Higgins. Boston people are absolutely fired up. And then right on the heels of that, CP, RFA Morgan Geekie signs 6 years at 5.5 AAV, way lower than people were assuming or projecting. A lot of people thought that season, the finish of last year that Geeks had, was just a perfect model for a classic overpay, a classic Don Sweeney overpay. People were guessing 6.5 up to 7. Gets him at 5.5. Geekie is 26 years old, had 33 goals and 24 assists last year for 57 points. Played the majority of the last half of last season with Pasta and Lindholm. Pasta assisted on 21 of Geekie's 33 goals. Was he a beneficiary of David Pasternak's elite heart level play? No question. But if we keep Geekie on that left wing and have whomever between him and Pasta, who gives a shit? Like, if this is now a 30 goal guy at 5.5 a year, that's fucking phenomenal. And then right on the heels of that, an important, rare right shot D-man, Henry Jokiharju, signs a 3x3 with Boston, 25 years old, 10 points in 60 games like last year, played for Team Finland at Four Nations. He's had some trouble staying healthy in his career, but I like him. He's a classic third player guy. And I said to you, we were standing in our living room, RIP. After that pickup, I was like, you know what? I like Jokiharju. Like, I like this player. I think he's young and he's raw, and I think he could be a really solid guy for the Bees.
Well said, dude. A summer. What's the doesn't George Costanza have like a summer? Isn't there a Seinfeld shtick where George has like the summer of hope or something?
Summer of George, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, this is the summer. This is a summer in Boston that I haven't been excited about in a while.
Dude, Chris, it's the summer of Dawn.
It's the summer of Dawn. We're having the summer of Dawn.
It's the summer of Dawn.
Like, and I'm excited about that.
We've shit on Don plenty, rightfully so, in my opinion. But this is why we are the fucking best, dude. I'm going to stroke us off. This is why we are the best podcast around, is because we don't sling around bullshit, and we are fucking as unbiased as you will ever find. Right now, Don Sweeney is having an amazing summer, and he deserves every fucking pat on the back, and we've been giving it to him.
Yeah,
like, he's doing a phenomenal job this summer with what he has.
He's
and
peaking.
Don't forget, he has 2 fucking first-round picks in the 2026 draft.
Hell yes,
the most important draft since 2015.
I bet
Don is vibing.
I bet he's like lost 10 pounds, dude. I bet he's fucking cut up, eating right, in the gym. He's mined. He's probably been reading.
He's got a hammer.
Yeah,
right now.
Dude,
right now.
Yeah. Swole. Fuck, dude. This is awesome. I loved everything you said. Remember when it was kind of like Krejci, Lucic, and like
Horton.
What?
Horton?
Yeah, but it was like blank. Like there was always that just like person over there. You know, it's like, okay, whatever. That I'm fine with that, just like being geeky again on this first line. You know, it's like Lindholm, Pasta, and I'm like, okay, like now it's geeky. And if he can even sniff this production,
Yeah.
Like if I don't even know if he's going to get 30 again, but if he can score 25 goals, obviously if he keeps his production, I'm thrilled. But if he can score 25 goals consistently, then you love that number, especially with the cap, which we're going to say like 50 times in this episode, but you love that number.
Yeah.
I was big on, I didn't want him to come back because I feared the overpay and I feared the regression. But this number I can live with and I can talk myself into. He's a 25 goal guy. And I love that. Yoki Haru, it's the same. I feel the same. What I was about to say about Lauzon is you need guys like this at this number who are pretty good. And that's what you have here. You know, I love the Lorai deal. I love this deal. Just continue to build up that blue line with character guys like this.
And I just love his age. I love his age so much. I love Boston's history with Finns. I think, you know, we're just such big fans of Charlie McAvoy, big fans of Hampus Lindholm. Like, I think they're great veterans who are good at teaching young players. When you get a guy like Charlie McAvoy who learned from Zdeno Chara, and then I look at a guy like Mason Lohrei who's going to learn from Charlie now. And I look at a guy like Henry who can learn from Charlie, who can learn from Hampus, who can learn from Zadorov. I think that's a step in rebuilding the culture here in Boston that we've talked about that needs to be replenished. And Charlie seems up for the task. The leadership he showed with Team USA at Four Nations. You got a new great coach, a European coach in Marco Sturm. You've got this European player. Like I'm excited about it. And again, all he needs to be is a third pairing guy. And if he's even better than that, phenomenal. But it looks like the model that we've seen be successful in Florida with guys like Mikkola, you know, with guys like Kulikov. Like it's exciting. So I think it's really good work. And you know, they're not huge ones, but on top of that, you got guys like Kuznetsov that you picked up in the trade with Minnesota, who is extended for 2 years. You get Beecher back on another year. So it's just like good stuff out of Boston. Staying in the division, Toronto, also the summer of Brad. This is
good work here, dude.
This is some of the best work we have seen from the Toronto Maple Leafs in a long time. And if they are little bitches, Elliot Friedman said that there might be some tampering stuff going on where Toronto's bitched about the tampering with Vegas and Marner, and it might turn into a sign and trade because of that. If that's the case, Toronto, I think you're being fucking babies. Fuck off. Soft tampering happens all the time. Every team does it. And to all the fans going, rules are rules, shut the fuck up. Sorry, yep. I just think you need to shut the fuck up. This is how it goes. How do you think stuff breaks at fucking 7 a.m. on deadline day?
Yeah.
But, was that a quick call at fucking 3 a.m? No, guys, this is how it works. And when your team benefits from it, you don't say shit. So everyone quiet down.
I don't even get tampering, dude. Like, I literally,
like
I don't understand.
The season's over, I'm like, talk to whoever the fuck you want.
What is the point of the rule? They're like, no, you can only talk to your team. They need to have that extra window. And I'm like, why?
I legitimately don't know, Chris. Like, I think it's probably for like the purposes of teams in the playoffs still. Like, you know, they couldn't get to work, but I'm like, whatever, man. I don't get the point. But Matthew Nyes, who was a massive possible offer sheet contender. We've been talking about it all season long. Fantastic player for them. Signs a 6-year by $7.75 a year. That would have been in the compensation range of a first, second, and third if someone were to have offer sheeted him. Toronto gets to work early on this. He's a massive player for this team. He's got more grit than we've seen from players on this team in a long, long time. He's young. He's huge. He's just a solid player. Great to get that done. And then John Tavares signs the team friendly. 4 years, $4.38 million a year. What do you have? 38 goals last year. People are like, he's washed. He's like,
is that true?
The best. Yeah, I think he had 81 points in 82 games and 38 goals. Is that right? Did I just nail that?
He did have 38 goals. 38 goals, 36 assists, 74 points. 74 in 75 games.
That okay, it was one. Yeah, I knew it was 1 point less than one game. So, yeah, 74 and 75 and 38 goals.
That is so fucking dope.
People are like, he's washed, dude. He's not the same player. And I'm like, well, sure, he's not the same player, but you're an idiot. If that's washed up, then whoever is saying that from their fucking couch in their living room, you should be buried 6 feet underground, you fucking plug.
You pig.
He is such, you fat pig. He is such a good player. And dude, to get him on that low term, to get Nyes under 8, which, you know, no one, I don't think anyone expected to be over 8, but to get him under 8, 6 years, like this, just great shit from Tree. Toronto's laughing. I
was salivating for a Matty Nyes offer sheet. I think we all were. And I was salivating because I wanted him to leave because I think he's incredible and Toronto's scary. And I think, or I wanted them to overpay for him, you know, and then nothing. They got him. And remember when we had Kyprios on and he was like, they've been dying for that wing. They haven't had that wing position locked up in a while.
Yeah.
And he's great, dude. He's just so great. That's such a good number. I'm thrilled for him and the Leafs. And I fucking love John Tavares. I always have. And the slander he's taken is insane. And I just give him a ton of credit, dude, because that is not a lot of money in today's NHL. And especially for the production that he's consistently giving you. And that's the kid who went to bed in Maple Leafs PJs and Maple Leafs bed sheets, you know, taking that deal right there. And yeah, he'll be 38 when it's over and whatever, but like that is he's the man. And he lost the C and he's doing that still. Mm-hmm. So,
and I said it to you, man, like it makes leaving the Islanders look even better. Like him taking this hometown discount and staying there through all the bullshit.
Yep.
It's just like, it's clear he really does love this team. He loves living in Toronto. So I'm like, yep. Okay. This makes sense.
It's amazing, dude.
Moving on. Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood traded to Columbus for Gavin Brindley, a 2025 third and a conditional 2027 second round pick. A lot of people were going nuts saying that the Avs got this one in a slam dunk. Now, I think this is a rare win-win. I love Charlie Coyle in Columbus.
Yeah, same.
He's so perfect for a guy like Adam Fantilli. He is just a really great, consummate pro, a locker room favorite. He's a perfect third-line center. I think he'll fit in great there. And Woody is just a solid, gritty, nasty player who will add to that team. I think about what they could have used to help them make playoffs. Both those guys fit that bill. Gavin Brindley going the other way. He's an amazing player. I love Gavin Brindley. I think he's a Michigan boy. Of course I love him. And then you get some picks, which Colorado desperately needs. They need more prospects. They need more pieces like that. This, to me, is a cool win-win. And I do think, I'm going to continue to say, that feels like a big, very clear cap clear out for Colorado that I'm like, okay, what are we doing with that?
Yeah. Gonna be
looks like you've got just over 8.7 mil available, Colorado.
Do it. God damn it, dude. Yeah, dude, I am happy. It was crazy when Colorado went out and got Coyle and Brock and all this stuff, and you couldn't keep them all likely. Coyle at this point has been moved a lot. Similar to what you were saying about Toff the other day, where it's like he's been moved a lot, and it's like
it's not that crazy though, right? Like, oh shit! Breaking news, dude.
Yes, what is it?
The Toronto Maple Leafs have just acquired Matias Maccelli from Utah. Conditional third is the return. That's an interesting move.
Brad, dude, come on. Is this you tweeting? Is this you tweeting in real time? Yep, get it up.
That's great.
Maple Leafs are not fucking around.
They're not.
And I like that.
Around.
I like that a lot. I don't have much to add on this one, Dan. I love it for both teams because I think Colorado wants to do something. I think they are extremely frustrated with their lack of success recently. And they made some big moves. There were no excuses last year. You made some massive moves. Mikko Rantanen gone, and you lose to Dallas in the first round. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? So they're creating space to do something else, to pivot again, to try to win a fucking cup in this window. So that I now have the room to do that. And I really do love Coyle on Columbus. I think Columbus was so fucking fun this year, and he's a good player.
Agree. Okay, and then the final trade we'll discuss before we get into some free agents, J.J. Peterka. That was one of the big first ones of all this madness. Traded to Utah Mammoth for Michael Kesselring and Josh Doan. Peterka immediately signs a 5-year by $7.7 million AAV deal. Buffalo fans were losing their minds, dude. They were like, we are an absolute disaster. We suck. And our boy JD was like, this is a rare Buffalo win. He loves Kesselring. He loves the ceiling of Doan. And this is a confusing one. And I'm like, shit. Okay.
I just think Peterka is good and young, and like, you just want shiny toys like that when you're the Sabres. And now, especially, dude, when you appear to be just a fucking feeder team. Remember, like, that happens in pro soccer, in like European soccer a lot, where like these young small clubs just get pilfered by the rich big clubs. And you're like, great, we're just a feeding ground. And when you look at Eichel and Reiner and Montour and blah, 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 Buffalo's like, what is this, dude? We just ship out all our young, good players. So I think it's PTSD from that. But they got some cool young players back. So, it's okay. It's going to be okay.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't think that one is something that there's a lot of things that Buffalo needs to be losing their mind about, but this one isn't that. Like, it was clear that Peterka wasn't trying to stay in Buffalo, and here we go. So you had to make a move. I think you got two good pieces back. Buffalo fans, again, I understand being frustrated, but I don't think that's one to lose your mind about. One more piece of breaking news: Vlad Tarasenko heading to the Minnesota Wild for future considerations from Detroit.
Dude, I love this. And I check what were his stats last year. But dude, I was so high on him getting to Ottawa. Remember 2 years ago, Ottawa? I was like, they did it. This is the big push. Ottawa's back in the playoffs. And then it all went to fucking hell and everyone got shipped out of town. And I was like, man, that was a nightmare. I think this guy has game still. And I need you to tell me what he did last year, but I think the Wild feel as though they were health bugged away from making a real run last year, right? Like, they had so much, they were dominating to start the season in first place, Krill going to win MVP, then everybody gets hurt, they finish as a wild card, and then give Vegas a fucking fight, but don't do it. I don't know, dude. This guy playing with, not literally with Krill, but just like in the room with Krill, I think this dude could give you depth scoring that A, will help when people get hurt, and B, is just going to be awesome to fill out that roster. And for literally nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I like the move by Detroit because it clearly wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I do think they need that. We're going to get into it in a second with Minnesota and like every team's needs, but like, yeah, like they need more wing scoring. Like, I look at Mojo being on your top two lines and I'm like, come on, that can't be it. But like, is old Vlad that? I don't know.
11 goals, 22 assists, 33 points in 80 games last year.
Yeah, like that ain't it.
But dude, he did 14 points in 19 games when he got shipped to Florida for like after. You remember when Ottawa sent him out?
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, it's there's something in there, and he had 41 and 57 for Ottawa before they traded him. Like, there's a little magic in there, dude. I love that for the Wild.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to some free agents, starting with obviously Mitch Marner. To me, Mitch Marner, I mean, let's go down the list here. We're gonna quick hit a lot of these players. 28 years old, 102 points last year, career high. Vegas seems to be the front runner. As we said, LA's in the mix, Canes are in the mix. We're hearing reports that it's going to be a 2-year deal in Vegas, which is so strange to me. I don't understand it in the slightest. There's also reports, Friedman has been saying it is going to be an 8-year deal. We also have the reports that there might be a sign and trade with Toronto. Either way, Vegas does seem to be the odds-on favorite. We've been talking about that. We were one of the first a couple weeks ago to say Marner to Vegas is an inevitability. I believe it still is. However, the mess around this has become very interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane, Dan. I will be. You talked about the tampering shit before. I don't need to say it again because I feel the same way. I still think it'll be Vegas, but I want some fireworks. Like we always say, we never get UFAs like this.
Yeah,
and we have one, and I hope it's like Carolina from the clouds or something insane, or it's not. They don't get forced to do a sign and trade because I'm like, okay, then fuck that. We didn't even get the cool UFA thing. So yeah. Give me some madness here.
I want the madness as well. Next up, one that's been talked about with trades, with everything, Brock Besser. 50 points last year, 25 goals in 75 games, 40 goals the year before, 28 years old. We're here in Boston. We're hearing Minnesota. That feels to be like one of the favorites. Obviously, the hometown return makes a ton of sense. How do you feel about Brock Besser?
Love the player. I got to be Minnesota. I feel like I was saying that all last year. I was like, oh, so excited for Besser to be a Wild player next year. My money's on that one. Would love him in Boston, no doubt. But my money's on Minnesota.
Yeah. I think so too. I would like to see someone make a push on him. I think Besser, with the right guys, is a player.
He's a weapon, dude. He can score. It's not easy to score 40.
Yeah. Next up, Nikolai Ehlers. Nikolai Ehlers, just with the Jets, 29 years old. Ehlers, as first reported by us earlier this week, or at end of last week, Ehlers going to be signing with the Carolina Hurricanes, 5 years, $8.5 million, unless something crazy happens in the last minute. Know that there are a lot of teams making a push. Seattle, Anaheim, Toronto, Winnipeg still in the mix, and the Sens, all heavy on Ehlers, as well as the New York Rangers. New York Rangers were definitely one that Ehlers considered for sure, playing in New York, very appealing. He's 29 years old. He has had 20-plus goals in 8 of his 10 seasons, 63 points in 69 games last year. I think he's phenomenal.
Great player.
And I think the idea of him playing with Aho and Seth Jarvis is just like we talk about. Like the Canes kind of need more stars. I think Ehlers is a star. Mm-hmm. And I think a full, healthy season playing with a playmaking center like Aho and a guy who's going to do all the gritty work like Jarvie could be unreal for that Canes team.
Same. No, I'm really excited. And this is going to be a big offseason for them too, obviously. They have all the criticism in the world of, can't get it done and they got to retool again, kind of. So I'm excited to see what they do. And this is a good first step.
Yeah. Mikael Granlund up next. He's going to be a big one. 66 points in 82 games last year with the Sharks and the Ducks. Had an amazing 4 nations. He was really great in the playoffs. He's played for 5 teams in his career, 33 years old. I feel like he is going to sort of be like Toff last year in that he's looking for a 4 or 5 year deal with a no move clause, get some stability. And I think he's earned it. We know that right now he's meeting with Dallas again. They're eager to get something done, but there are other teams who could use Granny for sure.
Oh my God, dude. Everybody could use Granny.
The Blues are heavy on Granny. I know that.
Yeah, that would be a fun one. And he's got to be, I'm sure he's looking for contention too. Like I know he wants the no move and shit, but it's like, I bet he wants to be in the mix again.
I agree. Like I think seeing him play 4 nations, him leaving the Sharks, going to Dallas and performing as well as he did in the playoffs, I think he was just like, I think he had like 8 points in 10 games or something in the playoffs. I do see him preferring a contender. I'd like to see him stay in Dallas. The Finnish Mafia was really fun to see. I think he'd be successful there. Dallas obviously has some cap stuff to figure out, but I would like to see him stay there. But no matter who gets him, I do think we're going to see something like a, 4 years. I would guess, like 7 to 8 mil. And I do think we're going to get that no move for him.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane up next. He had 59 points in 72 games, 21 goals last year with Detroit. Sources are telling us that he has a 2-year, $3 million a year offer on the table from Detroit, and it is coming down to Detroit or back to the Rangers, and it's all about Patty's preference, who he sees the upward trajectory with. And what's crazy, dude, is like they are a very interesting situation of like which team do you believe in? When I look at the roster of Detroit, I think it's a better roster, but goalie is just so important. The Gibson trade, which I think we skipped over the Gibson trade, but that was a big one. Gibson
we did miss that.
We did. John Gibson getting traded to Detroit for Peter Mrazek, a 2027 second and a 2026 fourth. Is great. Detroit is now better than...
Dude, I can't believe... Thank you for going back to this. I can't believe the reaction here. I was like, I saw that trade and I was like, wow, they finally moved him, and wow, Detroit has an elite goalie. This is a game changer. And then everybody in Detroit was fucking furious. And I was like, what, dude?
It's so bizarre to me. Like,
I've been begging them to do this for years.
Yeah, I really can't process it. That one is great. What the fuck were we talking about?
Kane, dude. I can't believe this is even a conversation either. The Rangers are awful. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think Patrick Kane just legitimately loves New York. He wanted to go there in the first place. I think he has fun playing there. I think he likes the city. So I could see him going there to just be like, well, whatever, I want to just play a couple more years in New York.
Yeah.
And that will be the reason. If he signs for the Rangers, it's not because he's like, we have a chance to do something. He just wants to live in New York, which is fine. But if he wants to try to maybe make a playoff run, he should stay in Detroit.
Yeah. Two forwards left UFAs left that we want to quickly touch on. Andrei Kuzmenko, 37 points in 56 games. He had 17 in his 22 games with LA.
It was insane.
Great with Kempe and Kopi, 29 years old, feels like a great fit with the Kings. And frankly, I don't think the Kings can afford to let this guy leave.
I agree.
Just with the way that they've moved out prospects, this absolutely bizarre trade of Jordan Spence to Ottawa for nothing.
Outrageous.
If the Kings lose him and when they need scoring and he came in with such a spark plug, that's a fucking massive flop. So LA has to do everything they can to keep him around. And then the big one, Brad Marchand. Where does he end up? Resume speaks for itself. 20 points in 23 playoff games for the Panthers, was crucial in them winning back-to-back cups. He's looking for a 4-year deal in the range of $7 to $8 million, 37 years old. I think it makes sense for Florida. They can afford him, especially if Ekblad doesn't come back. Boston and Toronto are heavily in the mix. Where do you want to see Brad?
Florida. Isn't that crazy? When he left, he left, I wanted him back so bad. And now I'm like, dude, go have fun, man. And they will be competitive again, obviously. Yeah. It's extremely hard to go to 4 straight cups. Like I'm not saying they're going to win again. I had made the joke that he was like Brady in that one of my favorite Patriot ever left to go to a Florida team and then won the title that first year at home because that Super Bowl was in Tampa. And then Brad leaves, goes to a Florida team and wins the cup at home. And I fear for Brad that it will probably be the Brady saga, which was like Brady won the bowl and then just kind of like didn't quite get back to it and then retired. And that could like if Brad stays in Florida, there's a good chance that happens. Like they just don't win the cup again, but he's like competitive for a couple years and then he retires. But that's still cool for me because I think he loves it and I love seeing him in the mix.
Me too. It's bizarre, but it's what I want. Okay, few RFAs, then we're going to get into defense to wrap up. 3 that I'm just going to quick hit, and you can mention CP. I just don't think there's any world they're moving. Mason McTavish in Anaheim, 52 points in 76 games. He's 22 years old. The Ducks are deep down the middle, but at the same time, like Mason is a center, and they just moved Zegras, and I believe because they're like Mason is the guy.
Yeah, he was great, dude.
I think he's getting a new contract with Anaheim. I don't think they're letting him go. Gabe Velarde, 61 points in 71 games, 27 goals with the Jets. Still couldn't quite get 82 games, which has been his big issue. He's 25 years old. He had a breakout year with the Jets. I think that they, especially if Ehlers moves on, he's another one that they're like, no chance you can let him go.
It was everything they needed in that trade for the most part. Got hurt at the end there, but like was everything they needed. He's staying.
And then Will Cooley, 45 points in 82 games and 20 goals for the Rangers. He had a breakout year. Was really one of the only players showing life towards the end of the season. He has won every trade that we're hearing with New York, every this, every that. They're like, Cooley is like, he is cannot touch material.
Agree. I think he's literally untouchable for them right now.
Yeah.
Staying.
So I think he stays. Now here's the interesting one. Restricted free agent. We've heard a lot about trades. We talked about it with Cam. Marco Rossi, Minnesota Wild. 60 points, 82 games, 24 goals. He has 101 points in 185 NHL games, but he seems like he's on the way out. And he is a young center, in my opinion, 60 points. He is like a 2C in this league. I think it is so strange. Everyone says the size factor is the problem, but part of me is like, fucking bump him to the wing if you need to. Who gives a shit? Like, why are you letting this kid walk for free? It won't be for free. He's RFA, so you'd make a trade, but that one's interesting for me.
It's nuts, Dan. He falls into the. I had a better example in mind, but he falls into the Dobson category where I'm like, why do you not like him? Why do your fans not like him? I think he'd be a tremendous ad for several competitive playoff teams, and I'll be curious to see what happens with him, because if they keep him, I wonder if he's pissed. I hate when that relationship fractures a little bit, and it almost feels that way there too. Like I'm not in the Minnesota area, so I'm not listening to talk radio and hearing all the shit, but it just feels like everybody's like, he's gone. And that's a shitty feeling if you're a player. So, I don't even know how they move forward with him. But that's a big grab for someone in the playoffs. That's a big grab.
I agree. I'm super interested in his career. I think he's a really solid player, so we'll see. All right, let's jump into D to wrap up here, CP. UFA D, starting off, Dmitry Orlov, 33 years old. Last season, he had a cap hit of 7.75. He has said that he's 100% not going to do the KHL. Obviously, he needs a team to sign him. They will, though. Yeah. 33. He's got plenty of game left. He had a less than stellar year with the Canes, and I think he's going to be like a day 2, day 3 guy. I think we're going to see guys like Ekblad, Gavrikov, Provorov go, and then someone will snag Orlov. But he's a really, he's a very typical two-way defenseman. He's going to get you some offense. He's pretty good on D. I think we saw him struggle a bit, definitely against the Panthers and their strong offense, but I just think he's a good second pairing guy for a team. And I think we'll see a pay cut for sure. I don't think he's making 7.75 or more, but I could see him getting a 2-year deal with a team and adding some veteran depth for sure.
Me too. I loved him in Boston. I think he's a good player, and it's unfair in my opinion for people to be like, and he had some bad games, don't get me wrong, but for people to be like, you were exposed by Florida. And I'm like, no shit, dude. The heaviest forecheck I've ever seen, one of the faster teams in the league. It's just a lot. So, and it was a playoff series at the end of the year when you're gassed and hurt and all that shit. So I'm not holding that against him at all. He's a great ad too.
He is. Okay. Aaron Ekblad, big one, 33 points, 56 games after serving a 20-game sussy for PEDs. Sick.
Yep.
He's the second longest serving Panther on that team. He's only 29 years old. It's felt like there's been multiple moments. His speech at some of the parade stuff, he's listed his house. There was this woman, who, I forget, she's like it's like a coffee shop person that he sees all the time. He tipped her like $500 and was like, hey, thanks for everything. Yeah. And she tweeted that, and people are like, hey, do with all this what you will. It feels like there's a chance he thinks he's on the way out. The question is, do you think he's going to get a fat payday from someone? I feel like Ekblad, people think he's like 35. He's literally 29.
Yeah, I think he is, Dan. And I think if he does, Florida was smart to let him go. Yeah. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the payday, because like you said, look at his career, dude. Like, he's done so much, and every Panthers fan should be thrilled with that pick. But he's got he plays a hard game. He got some tough miles on him. I don't think I'd be giving him 8 more years at a high number. If I'm Florida, if I'm a team that is happy to have that contract be not great by the end of it, but it's okay because I need him now and I want to make a push to become a playoff team and to mentor some young guys, then do it. Then overpay. If you have some space, go ahead. And I'll be happy for him. I'll be really happy for him. But I just think Florida doesn't need it. So, yeah.
It's interesting. It's a tough one. Like, there's part of me that's like, I could see a Detroit giving him a 7 by 8.5.
Yeah.
And like answering a lot of questions, but He does have a lot of miles on the tires. And I just think he and Marchand should sit down with Florida and go, let's just split it. Take what's left and split it down the middle. Like, I think they should both go back. All right, next up, just mentioned him, Ivan Provorov, 33 points in 82 games. I think he's a super interesting player. He had a 6.75 cap hit last year. He's only 28, but he's one of these guys, even though he's only 28, I'm like, does he deserve a raise? I don't think so. Like, I think like 6.5 is his number. Like,
I know.
Like a 30, 40-point guy. He is two-way. I like that. He's obviously he's had controversy shit in the past, which, you know, say what you will about it, but like Provy's an NHL player. I just don't know that he is like a 6-7 year deal guy. To me, he feels like a classic number 4 D-man. Like, I think he's your second pairing guy, but teams need that. So
I know, and he wants a race, so he will ask for one.
I think he's a day one guy. Like, you look at the D available, frankly, like, I think it's like Ekblad and I think it's Gavrikov, Ekblad, and Provy.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. Gavrikov, just mentioned him. He had 30 points last year, plus 26 with LA. He was fantastic. This podcast hears that sources are telling us that it is a done deal with the New York Rangers. He's going to be signing with them. I believe that that's what's going to be happening. Makes a lot of sense for New York. Feels like a kind of a typical New York signing.
Yeah, true.
But he was everything you wanted. I know LA is really upset, but I do think he's going to get a raise, like a good payday. And I think there's a world where LA is okay to let New York pay that.
Oh, same. And that's a good spot for him, honestly. I think that team, I just said, they don't have a super bright future playoff wise in the immediate future. I don't think, unless a lot changes. But he's going to get time there. You know, it's a cool fucking place to play, and he can really show what he's worth there. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah. And then, guys, we're like we said, we're doing a live show tomorrow during free agency day, so we'll touch on these. But just quick, Ryan Lindgren, Cody Ceci, Brian Dumoulin, David Savard, all UFAs. Those are all, you know, kind of like third pairing guys that are going to fill out, I think, day 2, day 3 guys that will fill out people's rosters who are all super reliable and great locker room guys. So we'll have eyes on those. To finish us off, CP, 4 RFAs, defensemen. I think 2 are locks to stay with their teams. 2 are very interesting. 2 locks, Evan Bouchard. First off, back-to-back 65-plus point years on the blue line. Crucial on the PP for this team. He's a fan favorite. He is also a locker room favorite of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. He ain't going nowhere. We are hearing that his camp wants 8 years at $10 million per season, and we're also hearing that that could come today. I am interested in this because by all accounts, it sounds like that deal is going to break today. So by the time this episode is out, maybe it'll have already happened. Maybe it will be about to happen. But he ain't going nowhere. He is staying there. We're hearing that Edmonton is working on trades today as well to move out Victor Arvidsson in a trade, as well as Adam Henrique to free up some space. But it looks like the 8x10 is going to be what Evan Bouchard gets. Does he deserve more than all of these guys? Like, does he deserve close to this Kale money? I don't know. To me, I think if you sign Evan Bouchard at that number and then you got Connor's extension coming down the pipeline, we're just, even with the cap going up, we are looking at like, oh, fuck me. Like, this is tough stuff here.
Agree.
But at the same time, like I said, if Connor and Leon don't take less, I ain't taking less either.
Yep.
Like, Evan, go get your fucking bag.
Hell yes, dude. And he deserves it. He deserves to get his bag. I don't think he should get Kale money. You know, I think he's 65 points is 65 points, dude. He's so valuable. He's got that fucking heavy shot. I heard Bush bomb 1,000 times during the playoffs this year. But there's criticism on his defensive game at times too. So that's a lot of money. But you're right. Like, if you have is Leon the second or the first highest right now or second behind Matthews?
Leon's higher.
Okay. So if you have
I think Leon's 13.25 is awesome. Let me look at that.
check right now. But if you have, once Connor signs his extension, if you have the highest paid player in the league and either the second or third highest paid player in the league, and then you also have the second highest paid defenseman in the league.
Leon's 14, and I think it's Austin that's 13.25.
Okay, so you'd have the top two highest paid players in the league and like the second highest paid defenseman in the league. And I'm like, dude, that's tricky. You're making it tricky on yourself when the criticism has been you're top heavy, and then this is kind of why. That's what I'd be worried about.
Completely agree. It's a weird balance where someone is going to pay him that. And
fuck yeah.
In today's NHL, the way they value offensive D, like that's what he's worth. And I stand by, like, go get your fucking money, dude. Like, if you had a Crosby and everyone was taking less, then I'd be like, fucking pull the sled, dude. Pull it in the same direction as everyone else. But they aren't doing that. So, like, go get your fucking money.
Yep.
The other one that is a lock, Luke Hughes, 44 points, 71 games for the Devils. I think he is going to, all right, signs would point to him getting an 8-year deal.
Yeah.
100%. But what's interesting is Jack has set the standard on that team at $8 million AAV. So, like, you can't pay him more than Jack, right?
Can you imagine?
That makes me wonder. I actually bet he's going to sign a 4-year deal, like a 4x7 or something, and, let Jack catch up and sign his new deal, and then you can sign one too. I actually think we're going to see a bridge here because of that. Because I'd be surprised if he's like, yeah, give me like 8 by sign exactly the same as Jack. Because even that would be like, Jack would be like, really, dude? Like, he's getting it. But maybe not, because he's like, I don't give a fuck. It's my brother. Get your fucking money. And also, like, times have changed. But that one is super interesting to me. He's obviously staying there. I'm curious what it's going to be.
Me too. And I honestly think a bridge might work out for him. Because, then he can get once Jack goes up, he can get a fat one too. So, yeah, that'd be good.
Completely agree. Sorry, I'm just hawking Twitter because shit's popping off right now.
Good.
And then the other ones that are interesting, and I want you to run with these. The two that are not locks, Keandre Miller, 27 points in 74 games. He's definitely declined from the hype around him a couple of years ago. I was so high on him. I still kind of am.
I know.
I've heard a lot of trade candidate situations with him. And then Bowen Byram, 38 points in 82 games with Buffalo. Sounds like he's going to be on the move, but I think he wants to move. Buffalo sees it. He was clutch for Colorado in their cup-winning year. I think a big deal is coming his way. So what do you see with those two?
Keandre Miller, I think, man, if the Rangers could get someone who still believed in the way you do, and I would even say I do, if they still believed in that potential and the Rangers could get a legitimate return for him, I would be interested in them making that move. But if the market isn't there for the Rangers, I'm crossing my fingers. And I don't even mean to make it sound like that much of a Hail Mary. I'm crossing my fingers on him and just going, he'll pan out, or he'll be close to that guy we saw 2 years ago, and I'm willing to let it ride, because I doubt he's going to need a ton of money. And you're kind of like, you're in a weird spot with the Rangers right now where you need to find some people who you can actually build around that you believe in. Because it's like, Christ, dude, like Fox didn't have the best year, especially at Four Nations, and like the Laffy experiment. Jesus Christ. So I would be okay being like, let's try to give one more look at Keandre to see. Don't sign him to fucking 8 years, but if you can get him on a reasonable deal, then I'd be interested in keeping him around. Bowen Byram, I think that's a great guy to have. In the who were we talking about earlier? I can't remember, but just in that mid-tier D range where I'm like, these are the guys that make a difference in the playoff runs and in the depth of a long season.
Yeah.
It's another one that Buffalo, I'm like, buddy, these are the players you want, dude. And like, they always just leave. Everybody leaves all the time.
What a way to make them stay.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. But that one, I'd have big eyes on him if I was a team in contention, looking for some depth on the blue line, because if you could get him, that would be.
Can you look up right now? Just Google a picture of him. I think Bowen is a left shot. Is that right? Yeah. Fuck. I was gonna say, if he's a right shot, Boston should be all over him because they need a right shot behind McAvoy.
Yeah, that would be great. But every defenseman in the league is a left shot, unfortunately. So you must have forgotten that. But dude, he's gonna be awesome. Like, how much was he getting from Buffalo? He signed a 2-year. 3.85 AAV.
Dude, you know what he feels like ripe for to me is the Goose contract, like 5.8.
God, he's only 24. That's awesome.
But yeah, he's I think he's a great player. You're right. I think he's like a perfect, like if he's in your second pair, you're like, damn,
you're laughing, dude.
So sick.
You're absolutely laughing.
Second pair. So we'll keep an eye on that trade. But yeah, listen. So much fun stuff coming up here. We're already seeing some of it break right now. We're seeing trades. We're going to get stuff popping off. We're getting this episode out for you today, Monday. Hopefully you're listening to it this afternoon if you want some content. But we're going to be going live tomorrow morning. CP, you going to get up early for it?
Well, we were going to go 9, right?
Well, 9 Pacific? That's pretty late, dog.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? What do you want from me?
I want you up at 9 a.m. Sweden time. No, we'll go live tomorrow. We're going to get you guys just some straight up reactions as everything breaks during deadline day. It's going to be fucking electric. We'll see how much of this comes to fruition. And also, as we do that, we're going to run through all the teams, all of their needs, things that those guys are going to be shopping for, what we expect from them on free agency, both day 1 to day 2 and beyond. So every team, you're going to get serviced by us tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Keep doing that.
No, I got to stop. I got to save it for tomorrow. All right, let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsors, and then we'll get into a beer league hotline.
You guys know we're always rocking with BetMGM, and just because hockey season is over doesn't mean the fun stops. The fun never stops, okay? So what I need you to do is download the BetMGM app and use promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS when you sign up. And when you do that, whatever bet you place first, if it loses, you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets back. Boom, baby. That's pretty nice. And they've got all kinds of cool stuff on the horizon. They got a Wimbledon's odds boost token going right now. BetMGM players receive a Wimbledon odds boost token, and to use it, you just make a wager up of entirely Wimbledon bets on your bet slip and activate the token. And then you can score extra winnings if that wager was made with the odds boost token wins. All kinds of good stuff in there. Check out all the promotions. They're always cooking up great deals for you, and I don't want you to miss out. So download that app right now and use that promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS when you sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
All right, now let's get into a beer league hotline. Wags, what do we got?
I ran a team in a major city where most people don't own cars, including our goalie, who we have had for multiple years. He brought us a ship and helped make us perennial finalists. However, he typically has to be given a ride to the rink every week. He couldn't play this past season, so we brought in a guy that's probably better than the original goalie and nobody has to pick him up. The new season is starting. Am I a scumbag for riding with the guy who can drive himself over our original attendee?
No.
It's got to be New York, right? They got to be in New York. I'm in a major city where no one has a car.
Yeah. It has to be New York. I mean, like, I don't see the issue here at all. He's better and he has a car.
But dude, if he was your goalie for 10 years and is good, and it's not like he's you know what I mean? Like, you've won a title, you're always deep in the playoffs, and he had to miss last season. They don't say why, but he had to miss last season for whatever. I had a baby. I need, sorry, I can't play this session. I'm traveling, whatever. And then he comes back and he's like, hey, I'm back. And you go, fuck you. Got a new goalie.
Yeah, sorry. The new goalie's better. Like, this is a situation where literally everything is better. You are benefiting in every way. The goalie's better, and he can get himself to the rink.
But it's such bad karma, dude.
I don't think it's bad karma. It's like shitty. I feel bad. I'm not a monster. I feel bad about this. But this guy doesn't have much of a leg to stand on, pal. He's like, I get it that he was your OG tendy, but he's also an OG nuisance. And then this guy comes in, he's got his own car, he's got a full tank of gas, both on the ice and in his automobile, and he's getting himself to the rink. I don't know what you say. You know what you do? You go like this. Hey, sounds good, man. If you can get to the rink, you can play. And every day he's going to go like this. Oh, I can't. And you go, oh, Okay,
dude, I was gonna say that. You should
let
go
us
like this.
know when you can get there.
Get a car. Buy a car. Buy a car right now, dude. You buy a car and you can get. I think that's, even though the other guy's better, the new guy's better. If OG guy buys a car, then he's back in. You're back on the team. I don't care. And I would also like to know if they won the ship this past year with the better guy. You know,
my loyalties go as far as your ability to get to the ice, dude. That is truly how I feel. Like, if this guy, I would straight up I would tell the new goalie, listen, we're going to tell this old guy that you guys are splitting games so long as he can get to the rink. And literally every week I'd be like this, can you get to the rink? And he's going to go like this, can I get a ride? And we are going to go, no, you can't. You can, if you can get yourself there, if you Uber, you can come. And whenever this guy's like, oh, I'm making it, then he can play. But he can't be bumming rides anymore. Like, but buddy, you've got to bring something to the table here. This new guy, he brought something to the table, and it's got 4 wheels. So
what if he goes? What if old guy goes? I can't afford a car, and I still need rides, but I'll bring beer every week, or something like that. One of a smaller gesture.
Now we're talking. Start bringing stuff to the table. If he starts providing things, like maybe this is a league where goalies don't pay. If all of a sudden he's like this, I'll pay the full freight. Yep. Now we're talking. You're bringing something to the table. You need intangibles.
But the old deal is dead. He can't come back on the old deal. That's done.
The old deal has been terminated. You need to start stepping up to the plate, or you're toast, pal.
Yep.
You're toast.
Okay. We can agree. We can agree on that. I love it.
It's harsh, but this is goalie in beer league is a harsh game.
Yeah, sure is, buddy. All right, now on to a Bauer Hockey blind ranking. Bauer gives us so much good stuff, including the Twitch, which is my favorite stick of all time. Facts. And now they're giving us another blind ranking, which I can't appreciate more. God, DP cooking already. Okay.
It's fucking 7 p.m. here, dude. Give me a break.
Last week when is the wedding, by the way?
It's the 4th.
Okay.
It's my future father-in-law's birthday, dude. You think I'm not going to have a
Today?
Beer? Get fucked.
That's sick.
It was yesterday. It was the 29th.
Oh, well, still sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Last week we were blind ranking sandwiches. This week we are blind ranking summer foods.
God, love a summer.
Wags, hit us.
Chicken salad.
Oh, fuck, dude. Here's the problem for you, Dan. This is nearly my Cubano. I love chicken salad.
Yeah? You are a chicken salad.
Love chicken salad. I have my own recipe. I like it in a sandwich. I like it in a sub. I like it plain. Put a little hot peppers on there on the sandwich. Put a little Frank's on there in a bowl.
You guys ever seen that girl? I want to give her a shout out. She works at Barstool. I think her name's like it begins with an M, but she's a chicken salad fan, and every time I see her videos, it makes me laugh because I'm like, I love chicken salad too.
Yeah.
I want it now.
Here's the only problem, though. I'm not sure it's. I don't associate it with summer as much. Like, I'll eat it all year. I'll eat it all year, baby.
Yeah, but dude, oh my god, chicken salad screams summer to me. A chicken salad sandwich, that is you eat that on the beach.
I probably had a chicken salad sandwich from Long Sands General Store on the beach. Probably, like, let's try to be realistic here, like 500 times.
Yeah. Chicken salad is so summer to me. You make some delicious chicken salad. You eat it with crackers right out of the bowl.
Woo! Okay, so maybe one.
No,
maybe one.
I don't know if I can go one. I will definitely go high here, though. Like, chicken salad is summer, man. It is summer.
Yeah, let's go one.
Put a little paprika in that recipe.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe slice up some grapes, put it in there.
Jesus, dude. I'm going to make some of that right now.
I'm a big, this is a huge thing we need to determine here. I'm a big shredded chicken salad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want cubed chicken. I'll still eat it.
Same.
I want like shredded chicken.
Me too. Prefer it. Same with my steak and cheese, by the way. Shred that shit.
I mean, otherwise, it's not a steak and cheese. It's a steak tip sub.
But I'll eat the cube anyway. Give me one, dude.
You want to go one? Chicken salad one? You didn't give me Cubano one.
Fuck. You're right.
Two.
Watermelon.
Fuck.
That's one, dude. That's one.
It's got to be one. That's got to be one.
That's got to be one. Watermelon is the OG. People have been eating watermelon in summer since the rib was turned into a woman.
Yep.
And
dude.
I'll tell you what, brother. Nothing is better than watermelon. You want to spruce it up a little bit, put a little tahini on there. You want to put some feta and mint in there. Do your thing. Get fucking nuts, dude. Go crazy with your watermelon. Just make sure you're eating it in the summer.
You want to grow a watermelon in your own belly? You eat a black seed? Boom. There you go.
Chucky Finster shit right there. That's
watermelon
Chucky
for free.
Shit.
Well, free watermelon rest of your life. Eat a few black seeds, free watermelon rest of your life.
That's unreal.
Give me one.
Watermelon 1. We got a great list going on here.
Ice cream cone.
Okay.
Specific with the cone too.
I know. Waffle.
Is there any dessert that screams summer other than ice cream? Because I don't know. By the way, I don't think I've ever really understood that. Like, it's a hot day and you want like a belly full of dairy, but I do.
But you do. And it's also weird when it's freezing out to get ice cream. I do it too, but I get people being like, did you just get ice cream in the winter? And I'm like, and dude, it just melts on you in the summer. You know, it's like immediate melt job, but it's still so awesome. The lines, dude, at the ice cream store.
Maybe low here, maybe 4 or 5.
You don't think ice cream is a good summer food?
No, I do. I think it's great, but I'm like, now that you're talking about it melting all over my hand, I'm also thinking of some other stuff. I could go 4 here.
But I guess I'm kind of torn because I love, it's a nostalgic. Like having ice cream in the summer, I'm like, it's perfect. So I kind of want to go high for that. But I agree, it's not functional at all.
Tell me, when you think about that, the like ice cream cone emoji.
Yeah.
You don't think of summer. You're lying.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I do. But I think you're right, cone here, because I became a dish guy. I became like a cone in the dish guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's fucking everywhere. I'll go 4. I'll go 4 here.
4? Okay, I like 4. All right, Wags 4.
Caprese salad.
I feel like we've been killing caprese 2 weeks in a row.
Are we gonna dead caprese again and go 5?
I think I will.
Oh.
It is a great summer on the deck.
I love
on the
caprese
back deck.
salad. Yeah, dude, you make it fresh. Maybe if you're like me, you're growing your tomatoes yourself in the summer. You pull it right off the vine, slice it nice and thin, put a little piece of mozzarella on there, drizzle of balsamic glaze, some basil on top. Fuck me, I'm getting horny. 5.
5. Dead.
Is that your go-to salad every day in the office? The one that you make or no?
No, that's my cucumber salad, dude. My cucumber salad is gas. That's pretty summery, too.
That is.
I hate that we're going to kill Caprese 2 blind rankings in a row, but I just feel like we got to leave that 3 spot, that 3-hitter. There must be something coming.
Yep.
So we're going to go 5.
Kebab skewers.
Great. Dude.
This is an immaculate.
Great.
This is an immaculate ranking.
Great.
Fucking nail. And that would have been a tough one to solve, dude. If kebabs were 5, that would have been tough. Now I know what you're thinking. Kebabs are definitely an all year round food, but tell me that you don't love a kebab right on the grill during summer.
Yep.
Hot summer night, chicken kebabs, steak kebabs. Put some white onion and some bell peppers on there.
People are going to be mad about kebabs over ice cream. I already know it. But just think about the drip.
Think about the drip, dude.
About the drip.
Think about the drip.
Dude, I was up in my rooftop grill making some burgers and stuff this weekend. And I thought I was the hot shit making all this stuff for my girlfriend. And this guy comes up with his friend and they have all these like kebab skewers and all this other food. And I'm like, wow, really, man?
Yeah.
Like, this dude knows how to cook.
Yeah, that's fucked, dude. He should have fucking checked first before he brought that up in your face.
He should have texted us in the apartment group chat and be like,
heads up.
I'm bringing in some big guns.
That's so funny, bro.
That's the dangerous game about a communal grill, dude. Someone could come in and just fucking big time you so hard. Beautiful stuff here on Deadline Eve. Hope you're listening to this episode as we get into all this good stuff, and we will see you tomorrow on the live as we break down everything going on Deadline Day. I'm going to be fucking tweeting. I got to find a stand because I got to be hands-free tweeting while we're doing this and breaking stuff, reacting to stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Beautiful stuff again. Love you guys. Enjoy Deadline Day tomorrow. Enjoy this as we get prepped for it, and until we see you tomorrow morning,
Skate hard.